As much as I hate to admit it, I get it wrong sometimes. Recently, one of you asked me via my Instagram if I thought Husqvarna would update their 701 Supermoto and 701 Enduro with the new 690cc motor from the KTM 690 Duke, and I responded that I just didn't see it happening. The two companies still seem to have some difficulty sharing platforms, and, with Husqvarna moving their attention to differentiating itself, and with them using the motor for less refined purposes, I just didn't see it happening. Then the news came. Being wrong has never felt so right. Husqvarna is indeed updating both models with the new motor, and they're doing it for the 2017 model year. This is a very, very big deal. Now I know what you're thinking, an update to the same 690cc single-cylinder engine can't be that big of a deal, right? I mean, with a big thumper that big, a second counterbalancer shaft can't really make that big of a difference, right? Wrong. If you read about my week on the new KTM 690 Duke, you'll know that I went into it with that same thinking in mind, and came out of the week absolutely in love. If you haven't read that, go do that now. Oh wait. That's right. It does smooth the bike out incredibly, on top of adding a claimed 6 horsepower to make 74 horsepower per KTM spec sheet and 4.4 foot-pounds of torque to make 52.6 feet-pounds. It will also now meet Euro 4 emissions regulations and rev 1000 RPM higher. They've also increased service intervals to 6,200 miles. If that doesn't sound like much to you, take a peek at the dyno tests we did once we got our hands on a 690 Duke and current Husqvarna 701, here Duke and here Husqvarna. And this is all to a bike I loved when it first came out. Okay, so now take all that smoothness, refinement to the fueling, and extra power and add more sumu, and you finally have a bike worth spending twice as much as you would on a used Suzuki Drive Z400 SM in decent shape. I still think it's a bit overpriced, and I'd have a hard time passing on the 690 Duke to spend $2 more on the Husqvarna 701 Supermoto, but this will make the Husky much easier to live with on a daily basis.